So, witch's ladders. What is a witch's ladder? What is it that I'm talking about? Maybe you've never heard of it, or maybe you've heard of it and have a different idea of what a witch's ladder is. But I'm going to talk to you about my understanding about a witch's ladder and what I've come to discover when I researched them way back when. So, basically, a witch's ladder is a cord, and it either has knots or charms or items or beads braided or tied into the cord. So it is a form of knot magic or cord magic, and that would then lend itself with the intention of a binding spell. They are considered fetishes. And what I mean by a fetish is that it is an object containing supernatural powers or a man-made object that has influence or holds some sort of power over another, which is what a binding spell is. You know, you are binding something, an intention, a goal, to something or someone else. So that's what the form, why people use witches' ladders. Now, traditionally, a witch's ladder is made of a length of cord, twine, ribbon, yarn. I used yarn, a specific length with a specific number of knots. Usually you'll see 3, 9, or 13 in the witch's ladder, but the number of knots or objects included in the witch's ladder could change, could vary, depending on what the intention or the purpose of the ladder is being crafted for. You will see traditionally a witch's ladder nowadays is made with the colors red, white, and black, but it doesn't always have to be. It could be all one color. I've seen them all done in red or a natural color like a brown or a tan, depending on what it is that is used to do the actual braiding of the cord. You can include feathers. Sometimes you can include feathers in the cord or personal items of the person or the intended individual that the cord is being made for. It could be braided into the cord. If you're using feathers, you could use different colored feathers to correspond with the intention. You could use the color of the cord. Say you were doing a prosperity witch's ladder, maybe you might want to use green in the cord, or green feathers, or green items, or symbols, depending on how you feel drawn to craft your witch's ladder. I think that's all the information I want to share with you right now. I'll give you the history of the witch's ladder as I actually craft one, so you'll hear me talking over what I'm doing, and then I can tell you specifically after about what it is and why I use the different things I use in my witch's ladder. So we're going to cut over to some footage of me actually crafting the ladder. The first witch's ladder was found in Wellington in Somerset and is currently kept in the Magic and Witchcraft case at the Pitt Rivers Museum in Oxford, England. Now, that witch's ladder was made of a length of twine which measured 1.5 meters long and had a loop at one end. Feathers were inserted along the entire length of the cord, and it was speculated that this fetish was used for getting away the milk from a neighbor's cow and for causing death in people. Now, the information that I just gave you was gathered about the witch's ladder from a note that was sent with the witch's ladder to the museum in 1911 by a woman named Anna Tyler. Now, prior to that donation, in the year 1887, in the Folklore Journal, there was an article written by Dr. Abraham Coles titled A Witch's Ladder. And in the article, he discloses how the witch's ladder was discovered. Now, he wrote that the item had been found in the roof space of an old house that was demolished nearly 10 years earlier in 1878 or 79. And with that fetish, there were 6 brooms and an old chair. And according to Dr. Coles, the workmen who found the witch's ladder said that the chair was for the witches to rest in, the brooms for the witches to ride on, and the witch's ladder was a ladder enabling them to cross the roof. Now, Cole stated that he wasn't able to discover what they based these claims on, but that the workmen had no hesitation on calling the item a witch's ladder when they saw it. So when they saw it, they said, oh, that's a witch's ladder. Now, during the time the discovery was found, Charles Godfrey Leland was in Italy, and he heard about this. And then so he decided to start investigating in Italy if there were similar claims of witches there using these types of things. And what he found was that the witches in the witches in Italy used a similar item, but they called it a witch's garland. And theirs were made of a type of cord, but they used black hen feathers and they knotted the feathers in the cord, while the other ones in Wellington and that cord was braided in. So there was a little difference there. And Leland also discovered that the witches' garlands were more used for curses, so they had personal items like hair and things like that knotted into the cords. Now,